Mike, thanks for the kind introduction. Folks, what we're going to do today is we're going to do an instructional demonstration, like Mike said, on this Tesla Model X. This is a 2017, and it has some unique features that I want to talk with you about before we get started. The Model X is a fully electric vehicle. It has a 400-volt floor pan mounted battery. That battery weighs nearly 2,000 pounds. In addition to the high voltage, the Model X is equipped with falcon wing doors. Falcon wing doors are a lot like gull wing doors, and they open up on the outside and above Model X. It creates a lot of room for the occupants to move in and out of, and for a rescuer, with the removal of those doors, it creates a lot of access to our patients within the vehicle. Today, the guys are going to go through and do a front door removal. Then they'll remove that falcon wing door, and we'll walk you through that removal. It's a little bit different than opening a conventional door. After that, they'll move to a dash displacement evolution. They'll move the dashboard of Model X. Then they'll go back to that B-pillar. The B-pillar is ultra high strength steel. It's one of the strongest B-pillars on the roadway. Dual phase 980 steel on the outside with boron on the inside. So when we cut that B-pillar, that'll be pretty exciting. We'll get a lot of sound off of it and the movement off of it. It's an impressive B-pillar. So that'll complete our total sidewall removal. Quickly, before they get going, I'd like to thank Tesla Motors for supporting this event, and for Hurst Jaws Life for bringing these vehicles in as well. This is important training. Tesla Motors has shown a commitment to first responder safety with the creation of a training video for the Tesla Model S and a training video for the Tesla Model X. And you can find those all at the Tesla website, along with the emergency response guides. I want to introduce to you Mike McConnell with Tesla Motors here. Mike has come out from the factory in Fremont, California, and he's here to answer any questions that you might have that are Tesla specific. So he's a great resource. Hit him up after the demonstration if you'd like more information on the Tesla products. And of course, the Hurst Jaws of Life guys are here to answer any questions you have about the tools being used to do the cutting today and that are in the booth. So I'm Brock Archer with Advanced Extrication. Let's go ahead and get this started. The guys will start by removing the front door of Model X. They're starting with a modified vertical crush. What you notice about this door is that there's no door handle on the outside of the front door. With Model X and Model S and many new late model vehicles, they're using electric doors on the outside doors of the vehicle. There's no mechanical linkage there. So for a rescuer, what that means is that if 12-volt power is shut down in the vehicle, we're not going to be able to utilize that door handle on the outside. But all vehicles that utilize an electric door handle on the outside, they have mechanical linkage handles on the inside of the door. So as a rescuer, we can reach inside and utilize that internal handle to get that door open when we don't have 12-volt power. Typical latching and hinges on the front door of Model X. Cast hinges. Most of the Tesla Model X is constructed out of aluminum. This isn't soda can aluminum. This is high strength, very brittle, very strong aluminum. So it's different than our steel construction that we typically see in our conventional vehicles. The behavior of the aluminum is that it breaks under pressure. Unlike steel, where it may flex and bend, for the Falcon Wing door, we have a two-piece door. It's hinged at the roof rail where the top of the spreader is now. What we're doing here is we're breaking the top of the door away from the bottom of the door. This will leave us with two pieces of door, one that'll be attached below and one that they're going to lift up and over top of Model X and get it out of the way. The top section of door is equipped with a high tension spring that brings that door up and over Model X. So control must be maintained when we're separating the two pieces of door, so that that top piece of door doesn't come up and become a hazard to the rescuers. Larry's going to bring the cutter in now and cut that last piece of door sill to remove or to separate the two sections of door. And you can see Tim has his hand on the top section to make sure that that high tension spring doesn't drive that door up violently. With the Tesla Model X and with all electric and hybrid vehicles, we want to be aware of the shutdown procedures of the high voltage system before we take action on the vehicle. That information can again be found at the Tesla website. Another unique feature of the Falcon Wing door is that it doesn't have a roof rail to put the airbag in for the side curtain airbags. So Tesla has utilized the bottom section of the Falcon Wing door in order to place that airbag. It deploys up and over the window of the side Falcon Wing door. The Falcon Wing door, the bottom section is held on by one latch in the center bottom of the door. That's how the door remains closed. A single latch at the bottom section. Now you can see the top section is out of the way and above the vehicle. The rescue specialists are now going to prepare for dash displacement. Because this is an aluminum body structure, the components that are holding the strut tower, upper rail, and dash in place are different than our conventional construction. When we're working an incident where we have an aluminum body structure, it's more important than ever that we evaluate that upper rail strut tower assembly and be sure that we make the appropriate relief cuts in order to move the dash. With the hood removed, you can see the strut tower is very different, the upper rail is different, and we've got some supports that we don't typically see. Removing the fender of the vehicle to get good access to that upper rail. Notice the way that fender broke as it was being removed. We don't see that with steel construction. That's a characteristic of dealing with this aluminum body structure. And here you may see that the aluminum strut tower may separate from the upper rail. Again, we talked about the aluminum breaking more brittle than what we're used to, so we can often just use the spreader to break components away rather than having to get the spreader out and do that work. Larry will come in now and do some additional relief cuts in the front end of the vehicle. Here we've got a connection from the upper rail to the strut tower, being separated for our dash displacement. Cleared the space for the cutter, and Larry will go in and make that cut to relieve that strut tower from that upper rail. One of the things that we see with aluminum body structures and dash displacements is that without really good relief cuts, if in the accident these areas weren't broken away, that we really need to make good relief cuts, because the aluminum lower A-pillar that we're going to push on for our dash displacement, it's made of the same brittle aluminum that we're dealing with here. So it has a tendency to break off as we push on it. So these relief cuts are very important. And this is the final relief cut in the upper rail strut tower assembly. From here, the guys are going to move to the A-pillar or the A-post of the vehicle. They're going to double cut that area again to make sure that when they push on the dash, it doesn't get hung up on itself. Here we're just opening up a little section in the lower A-pillar so that Larry can get the cutter in place. Notice he's going perpendicular to the vehicle with this cut. His intention here is to create an opening on the outside of that A-pillar so that when he goes to make his second cut, the tool will run outside of the vehicle rather than into the occupant. Model X is equipped with 2 curtain airbags. We talked about the Falcon Wing door airbag that's in the bottom section of the Falcon Wing door. The second curtain airbag is located in the A-pillar, in the windshield area, running up just slightly into the roof rail. And the inflation cylinder for that pillar is located almost touching the dashboard on that A-pillar. So we have 2 different curtain airbags and 2 different inflation cylinders for those bags. Here's the second cut. This separates the area of the dash that we're going to be moving or displacing from the rocker panel, rocker channel of the vehicle. A quick check for the airbag, and they'll double cut the A-pillar that we were talking about a little bit earlier. This A-pillar is aluminum outer skin with a dual phase 980 center. And you'll hear that break in just a second. One more cut in that A-pillar, and we'll be ready to move the dash on Model X. Once we finish our dash displacement, we're going to move on to complete our total sidewall removal by removing the B-pillar. That's when we'll be cutting through that dual phase 980 and boron steel in the upper section of the B-post. Right now we're leaving that B-post in place so we have something to push off of with our ram for our dash displacement. And Tim's getting the ram in place. What the guys are going to do is they're going to break everything loose using the ram. And I really like this technique. We break everything loose using the ram. Once we've freed all the structure, we can come in with the spreaders, hold the material in place, or even take it a little bit further. This allows us to remove our ram and get good access to our occupants at the crash. Starting our total sidewall removal. Multiple layers of dual phase 980, no aluminum in this area. Multiple layers of dual phase 980 with boron center. What you're going to hear when this pillar breaks is exactly that. It's all of that steel breaking. It's not being cut. The pressure of the tool is actually breaking the material. That's one of the strongest B-pillars on the roadway today, and you heard that as the tool went through it. You could hear all of the breaking of the dual phase and 980 steels. Now it's the last 2 cuts in our instructional demonstration. Down here we lose the boron. At about the latch level of Model X, we lose the boron, but we still have the multiple layers of the dual phase steel. And there goes that steel.
Yes. All right. So.
And now Larry's going to move around to the other side of the B-pillar, make the same cut on the other side, and that will complete the removal of the B-pillar. And that's a complete cut through the other side of the B-pillar. Larry will work on getting that post removed. Folks, I want to thank all of you for coming over and watching this instructional demonstration. Remember, Mike McConnell from Tesla Motors is here to answer any questions that you might have. I'm going to stick around for a few minutes. Happy to answer any questions. And of course, the Hurst Jaws of Life staff is here to help you with anything that you might need.
No, are you there? Are you
So we thank you all. Take care and be safe.
Play your side.